So I'll tell you about the most awkward conversation I ever had with my dad. Was in 1996, right after we got AOL. Because the first thing I thought to do when we got AOL was to create a screen name, log into a sex chat, and pretend that I'm a woman. Fair enough. I just didn't know that you could be reported on a sex chat and that as a result, your dad would receive an email with quotes as to why you were reported on said sex chat. Look, I was in 6th grade. This is mostly second base rhetoric, nothing too hardcore. But I remember doing this on a Friday night, solo sleepover, as I called them back then. The next morning, I came downstairs and I sat down at the breakfast table, and all my dad said to me was, "Did you tell someone last night that you're too sexy for your blouse?" And I lied and said it wasn't me, forgetting that my screen name was my first, middle, and last name. I used to live in New York, and I moved here recently. But right before I moved, I was on the subway, and there was a guy sitting across from me who was so attractive that it was like irritating. Like, do you ever see someone who's so good looking, like you kind of want them to die? Like, I hated him. But instead of actually hitting on him like any normal human being would do, I decided to take a photo of him with my phone for later. Here's a suggestion for anyone who would like to covertly snap a photo of a stranger sitting across from them on the subway. Turn off the flash. You're going to want to turn off that pesky flash because you expose yourself as the gayest creep in the world. When the flash went off, we gave each other looks of equal levels of astonishment that had happened. And I was so embarrassed that my first instinct was just to barf all over the place. But instead, I just said, "Loosen up," and then I got off at the next stop. I got a letter recently in the mail from myself. We had an assignment in English class in high school to write a letter to yourself in 10 years, and I actually got it. So I thought it was a little long, so I shortened it for you, but I thought it was kind of adorable. So this is from me from 10 years ago. Dear Brent, well, it's been 10 years since you wrote this note, so hopefully by now you've left Michigan. Check. Started doing stand-up comedy. Hello. And met the woman of your dreams. It's adorable. I love how at the age of 17, the cold reality had already dawned on me that Michigan is like the most economically depressed state in the country. But I conveniently chose to ignore the fact that every single one of my wet dreams had prominently featured Jonathan Taylor Thomas. The note continues. It says, hopefully your future wife will have an amazing personality and will be entirely open to adopting children. Let me translate that for you. I don't want to touch my wife. We'll high five once a year on Christmas Day, and that'll be that. But, you know, I wrote him back, and I wanted to read my response for you. Dear Gaywad, I still remember the last crush you ever had on a girl was Dominique Moceanu, who some of you may recall from the 1996 Female Olympics gymnastics team down in Atlanta. I remember you noting to a friend of yours at the time that you found her particularly attractive because, and I quote, her breasts are so small and muscular. Signed, Brent Sullivan. Thank you. Thanks, guys.